Right, let's get back on with things. It's been a while. Let's try and get another baggie prepared here because I'm going to need one. I don't know if the music's too loud, I hope it isn't. Just tone it down just in case. Okay. I'm trying to look for the bigger parts today. Today is going to be 101 questions probably, but we'll see. Don't worry about you when you want radio silence, John. Oh, god damn it! Hang on. John, is the audio alright? I hope the audio is alright. Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know why the camera just decided to like go weird on the focus there. Maybe it's because of the I think it might be because of the exposure. Let's try cranking the exposure. Oh, I see. No, it was on autofocus. That's incredibly weird. Hey everyone. Twitter's crazy. Yeah, I imagine Twitter is right now. I'm gonna be staying off stuff like that. But yeah, I did mention at the beginning of the stream that it's probably gonna be 101 questions today about my situation and stuff, so try and get the torso done. How's it going? Could be better. Could be better. Just trying to take it easy, and I consider Gunpla to be like the most simple thing ever. It's not incredibly strenuous, so. Oh, this nope! This nope is terrible! The hell is that, man? Come on. I actually hope everybody's doing fine, because I just realized the microphone is like so far away from me. I hope everybody's alright. I might have to, I don't know, up my end. I'm not sure. Let's crank the volume a little bit. There we go. I'm sat a good ways away from the microphone here, so it's going to be a little bit awkward to hear me if I'm talking, you know, usual levels. XRAM says voice volume is fine. Oh, thank you very much. So yeah, we're carrying on with Sins BD1 here. It's about the only thing that I would want to do right now. I'm just trying to do cleanup on the torso and actually find the other bits of the torso, because we've got the head laid out on this runner as well. Well, so one of the things that I've already predicted I'm going to be asked today is, how's the hands? How are you doing? I'm doing fine, and the hands, as you can see, I can use them, but just to give you a rundown of that situation, what's happened is, since the last time I played GBO, the arm started feeling tense again in the same area along here, and because it felt particularly like I was going backwards again, I decided I didn't want to relapse, so I just called it as, yeah, they're screwed again. So it's not like they're 100% screwed, but you know, it's a bit of a scare. Okay, so that run is empty now. They're not totally wrecked, I don't want to go crazy with them, so. How are the hedgehogs? The hedgehogs I've not actually seen in a while. I'm assuming they're fine. We had a visitor that came and decided to eat the hedgehog's food, which I was obviously not happy about. So we got a trail cam to find out who was stealing the hedgehog's food, and lo and behold, it's a cat. So fun stuff there. You know, I gotta Gonna try not feeding a cat that's just wandering around and helping itself to the hedgehog's food. Like at the moment, I've just got the camera set up again to try and catch the hedgehog and the hedgehog, the cat in the act. That's for the torso here. Moody's got to hurry and get himself some replacement hands. I mean, there's a couple here on this runner. Okay. Keep that over here as well. But yeah, like I said, it's not so much that the hands are totally screwed, they're not. It's just I was being very safe rather than just being like, oh yeah, this is totally fine. I thought I'll call it. Big cat stealing away the hedgehog's food. Yeah. Worst thing was, he just sat there as well. He sat there. He looked at the camera first to see what the hell this thing was, and then he just goes up and starts chilling out and eating the hedgehog's food. When I'm thinking, you know what? The hedgehogs get extra food because it's winter. So if they wake up during winter, well then they've got the extra food there. And instead, now the cat's like, you know what? I'm just gonna eat that other stuff. And apparently there's an error with the stream. YouTube not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. You'll experience buffering. What the hell? The hell, YouTube? Susan, what are you doing to me here? I'm just trying to enjoy something and entertain people, and instead you're wrecking me again. Okay, so that's the arms. I'm trying to figure out which bits here are which. This is definitely the arms and the shoulders. Okay. Which means we've got bits of the torso all over the place at the moment. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the manual here and just make sure. Take Jen's hands. Oh, she needs them more than I do. But yeah, I saw some people making the recommendation of me using my feet for playing games for a laugh, which I thought was funny considering I think it was Gate that corrected everybody and said that would be stupid because then his feet would just end up in the same situation, which is true. So either way, I can't win. You know, there's no using my feet as replacements, and there's definitely no replacing my hands. So fun stuff. Just got to deal with it at the moment and take it easy. That's what I get for going all in on the button mashing. Okay, I don't know. Are any of these other parts here for the torso on this runner? So the cat doesn't eat the food; it just has an attitude. Oh no! Yeah, it has an attitude as well. I was reading that and I was like, wait a minute, what? And then I read it properly. I'm like, yeah, the cat has an attitude as well. He doesn't just eat the food. He comes up, checks the camera, and then goes, yeah, I'm having it. Okay, so B1, B2. Oh no, B1 and 2, 17. Okay. Okay, there we go. Let's see. You could with feet, just make sure Boaty isn't around. Oh, no. Like I've said, the feet are practically in the same position the arms are in. You know, they're just terrible all the time, so it just end up the same. Exram says, use one of those voice controllers. If your legs don't get ruined up by using your feet for play, then you'll get ruined by me destroying them. There's no way of winning, says Boaty. I know, right? The only way of winning is to not play. God, I love war games. Right, let's do this here. C116, that's that one. Making sure I bag all of this, or at least keep it around here first before I clean it up and then bag it. feel like I need to do all these really tiny parts first. I realize I'm not doing this in the center of the screen all the time, but just trying to make sure I do this and keep everything in frame. Practical Zaku says, what are you working on? This is Sins BD1. Let's see here. Oh, A14 is the top of this? Okay, so this is interesting. There are bits that I've missed out here. Right, what is that bit? I'm trying to find this of these parts that aren't too familiar with me. I imagine that's one of the feet. Really, that should be in the leg thing over here. Let's cut that out. I'll stick this in the leg baggie later. G-Dash says, Jesus, like a worse Deku. Oh yeah, I've been through this before, you know, with how things are in general with me and my condition. Like I was pretty sucky beforehand, you know, by not having really any feet in real life, but not having any arms and feet just kind of makes it even worse. Oh, fun times, fun times. Just gotta see the good in what I have left, you know. Right, let's see here. That's a D runner. God damn it. That moment I'm trying to find all these parts to cut out. And I'm turning my arm at an angle which it doesn't like. It's telling me, it's letting me know that it doesn't like it. I think that's the right one based on, yeah, the look of it. Does the BD1 also have a beam rifle? It looks like it only has the machine gun, unfortunately. Which I don't really like too much, but I mean, whatever. Yeah, I'll deal with it. Those look like ammo packs. Let's see. We got one of the other joints in here. There's another one of the leg ones there. Let's go find that. So much is just all over the place here right now. Fun times. So I've got the torso there, I've got the legs over here. At this point, I think you have brittle bone disease, says G-Dash. Oh, no. I don't. I'll put the actual name of it in chat now so that you can search it up and see what I actually have. Hang on. Here we go. Take the beam rifle from the ground Gundam. The thing is, I don't have any spares from the ground Gundam. From ages ago. Okay. So that I just posted is the actual proper name of my condition. Have fun Googling that. Right. Let's see here. I've got this part that goes in the waist, I think. And I've got the actual waist itself. How is it pronounced? Epidermolysis bullosa, or EB for short. But yeah, it's pretty crap. That is definitely the waist section, but let's just double check with the manual. Oh, I say that and then next minute I turn the manual over and don't get any of the instructions I need. Where the hell? Oh my god. Ah, that moment where you're trying to... Come on, seriously work with me here? There we go. Yeah, it is. E19. All that just for that. Come on. Okay. All over the place here. Excuse me. So yeah, what I'll probably do is just do this until I get the torso cut out and bagged, and won't go too much further just in case. That way I feel like I'll be doing enough, you know, to make some progress. Right, let's leave that over there for a moment. Move these, which are obviously joints. That's all rubbish at the moment. So, I think this Gunpla brings extra hands. Yeah, it's got plenty of them by the look of it. Oh, there's that other joint that I needed. A lot of these parts that I'm seeing now are definitely for the arms. I've seen that though, which looks like it's for the chin. You can always get another ground Gundam. Yeah, that's true. You get the ground Gundam, the 2.0 of it. Let's see here. Right, the next bit was the machine guns, which I still don't know what the hell they are. That's the D runner. D1 actually, I need that for... Okay, D1 and... That's it. Okay, so D1, I don't want to cut it off the sprue here at the moment until I've cleaned it up, because it's such a small part, so I'll just put that like that. So daisy. And then, let's see, it was a Vulcan, which was a very tiny part. It was on B16. Okay. Let's see what we got here. That's B2. 6, 10, 13, 22, 16. There we go. That's a really, really dark part in contrast to everything else. Yeah, Proof. You're right about my condition. It's really stupid. Like I've said before, sometimes it affects me and other times it doesn't. It kind of depends on how I exert myself. So if I'm not going crazy at something, well then it hardly manifests. Whereas if I do go crazy, then it does, and then I basically end up disabled for about, I'm going to say about 3 to 5 days. Let's see, B1, 18, and A, oh god, yeah, 18, so, let's see here, there's 18. Okay, so that's part of the backpack. Hey Shinju! And you could have a Grand Gundam's weapon rack for somebody else who plays Cough Cough, says G-Dash. I see what you're doing. Everybody's slowly trying to get their suits into this this diorama. I'm not going to have enough space. By the end of this, I'm going to be overrun with mobile suits. Well, let's see what we got here. Nothing on that one at the moment, although there's the ball joint for the neck. I suppose I can put that in there. I think that is anyway. Let's just, yeah, it is. Just double checking there. I'm looking at it. It's a ball joint with like 2 pegs either side. I'm like, okay, what the? Let's just double check here. These are definitely for the legs, but I don't want to be working on the legs and the torso at the same time. Okay, oh, there it is. I think. No, that's E. E has the extra boosters there. Oh wow, we got spare parts for the, No, wait a minute. Those aren't spare parts. It has 2 sets of Vulcans? I'm used to the ground Gundam with it having Vulcans on one side only. I actually forgot about that because of it having dual Vulcans on Battle Ops too. How stupid of me. Right, and then we've got the booster here, which is at 18. Okay. Like, for a moment there, I lost track of everything. I'm like, oh no. Okay, so these should all be the parts for the torso now. So now we can go and clean them up and then bag them. And ideally, I want the smallest parts to be together so I don't lose them. So let's just put all of them to the side there. And then we'll try and start with the stuff that we've got available at the moment and see how it goes. That moment where I'm trying to get rid of this goddamn nub, and honestly it looks like I'm taking more off than I am. Let's just try and put the glasses to the side there for the moment. There's 2 head units, wait, what? Doesn't the 8 have a beam rifle? Yeah, the EZ8 does. Comes with a beam rifle and a machine gun. But to be honest, I want to see if I can put a bazooka on it instead. But I don't have a Fetty bazooka, or at least I don't think I have. I'm gonna have to look through all the suits that I've got previously. Because I think the only bazooka I've got is the Hyper Bazooka from the RX-78, which obviously will not match. Is the EZ8 going to be in the diorama? Yeah. All these suits are going to be in it. Wouldn't do a diorama without putting myself in the EZ8 in it, you know. Can you use that beam rifle? Suppose it'd be an easy fix, to be honest. If I can get a bazooka, then yeah, otherwise I'll have to stick my EZ8 with the beam rifle and the beam saber. But yeah, it all depends on the posing, really. Because, like, having them in, like, the really iconic poses would be good as well, like, especially if I can get the EZ8 to do its lunge. Either that or I'm going to have both these freaking waddles stood on top of it while its legs are crippled. They might sell the rocket launcher bazooka separate. I think they do. I'm not sure. I thought they might do, but when I had a quick look, I couldn't find it. But then again, that's me. I was searching HLJ for it and didn't really find it in like the first 5 seconds. Loaded it up, went to high grade, and then looked through some of the builder parts, didn't find it. It was like, nah. I don't have to go P Bandai for it either. Like, I imagine what it'll be is, it'll either be a case of either trying to acquire another kit with a bazooka, or they'll sell it as an option part. Okay. Oh. P Bandai comes with the slave. To be honest, the only P Bandai kit I'd want at the moment anyway is the Pale Rider, the ground type. Just for the the sheer fun of it. Like, the thing is, there was a conversation going on in chat, I think it was the last time I was on GBO, saying that the Pale Rider is pretty crap now, and it isn't. It's still usable. Otherwise, I wouldn't run it. You know, the heavy stun from the 180 is always good. Bazooka is really fantastic on it. The accumulative stun from the pulse gun, or the beam gun, is good enough. I don't really use the Vulcans or the missile launchers, but the downswing bazooka combo is obviously really handy. And so is the, like I said, the 180 heavy stuns, so it's not as if it's been completely ruled out. It can be used, it's just a case of taking advantage of your surroundings and where your enemy is. And then also getting all those downswings in. Oh, come on now. Okay. Can't wait to go over all of this with Primer first. I have to get a lot of primer, but it'll be fine. It's going to be fun to see all these painted up and then weathered. I'm going to be really happy with it once it's done, provided I put enough effort into it. So, and again, it's like the third stream. I mean, I need to get new files. I keep saying that every single stream, but then I come off stream and I don't order anymore. Right. Everything's slowly going in the bag here. Went ahead and posted it in main chat, Moody, says G-Dash. Ooh, thank you very much. I've also found my favourite general unit, the Pale Rider Cavalry. So fun using it on my alt and has such a nice kit. People think it should be a brawler. I mean, I'd like it if its HP was slightly better, you know, because at the moment I think its base HP is like 13,000 compared to everything else that tends to have just 1,000 or 2,000 more. But then again, it'd make it a little bit too tanky for what it is. It's definitely more of a situational suit where you want to take advantage of your enemies as they're attacking somebody else. At least that's the way I feel about it anyway. I find that I do more damage and I help my team more in that suit when somebody's already getting hit, or when somebody's distracted. The thing is, it's good for what it does, which is get in, do damage, get out. The added bonus of the legs being repaired when you pop Hades is great, but once you pop Hades, that's it. It's all or nothing. You basically have to use that minute to your advantage. And normally that is when you get super aggressive. Like, that's where you want to get the most damage in then, when you've popped Hades. So, bazooka down swinging for days, trying to take advantage of anybody that's around you that you might be able to hit. That's how I use it anyway, you know. Just going in on people and then backing out and then trying to get more down swings. But it's also where you're prone to tunneling the most, because you pop in Hades and just going in and being like, I'm invincible, when you're not. If it had the, like, 14 or 15,000 hit points, I think it'd be that little bit more tankier, and I'd like it a little bit more, but the problem is it'd probably, with for those with its base stats, it'd probably have, like, I'm going to say about 18,000, 19,000 if you included other optional parts on it, you know, like health and shield bonuses. So it'd be pretty tanky. It'd be as tanky as an Easy 8, which is already pretty tanky. Oh. Come on there. I think think the only problem I had with the Easy 8 the last time I played was primarily just the turning speed. The turning speed is complete ass. Which I've never had a problem with in the past, but I think it's because all these new suits are, you know, Zeta era. They tend to do a lot more damage. There's only a few of it from eBay in Hong Kong, says G-Dash. Oh, I have to have a look. Dave, did you only read part of my comment? I said the Pale Rider is a hit and run suit. I did. I think I was just going more in depth with my take on the comment. You know, I don't want to make it sound like I'm only, you know, speed reading and not sort of paying any attention. Oh, come on now. Trying to be careful here. I remember Nova saying the other day, it's like, oh, it says be careful, and then cuts towards his thumb. But the thing is, like I've said before with that, as long as you're not going like, as long as you're not like really forcing it, like your hands are shaking and anything else, you know, as long as that's not happening, then you're fine. You just gotta be incredibly careful and kind of pay attention to what you're cutting a little bit more. There we go. Been watching a couple of videos of what looks like Japanese builders recently doing entirely custom parts or adding new segments to suits or new details with like plate and stuff, and sanding it down and doing some really cool custom work. Looks really good. Makes me really envious, to be honest, because I'd like to get to that level. But at the moment, just doing it like this and weathering is pretty nice for me. It's not totally like straight melt like some of the kits that I've done, but this is way more effort I find with having to sand and prime everything compared to straight building. Because I've built a couple of suits from straight build in the past. And it's not too bad. Really, it depends on what the suit is. Because some kits you can get are absolutely terrible for straight builds. And other ones, all you need to do is give them like maybe a little bit of lining and they're done. All depends on what you want to get out of the build, you know. There we go. I see from a lover's perspective, says Proof. Oh yeah, gotta simp for my Pale Rider, you know. I've come back, I looked for Bazooka, but there's no builder parts set. It's alright, Exram. G-Dash posted one in the main chat, I just need to go on eBay later. It's going to be interesting when I can finally get hold of Boaty, Nova, and John's suits here, because then I can actually get everything set up. You know. Now I remember that's the suit in that's your suit in Moody's diorama, says Shinju. Yeah. John's is the Camphor, the notorious suit that I wish I'd actually got off Amazon when it was being sold on there for like 20. Instead I thought, you know what, I'll go on HLJ and get it. And instead, HLJ said they had it in stock, and then next minute they're like, yeah, sorry, but it's now on your backlog and we're waiting for more to come in stock. It's like, come on guys, seriously. I know we're in a pandemic, and I know a lot of people bought Gunpla right at the beginning of this, but come on, you know. Your business, you should be able to restock Gunpla for me. My first world needs of plastic entertainment need to be fulfilled. Like, I get my entertainment out of building and customizing small plastic robot kits. Please do me a favor and just get these shipped to me so that I don't have to worry about it. I think we puts Pete Bandai, says Exram. It's fine. The Mass Effect Trilogy Remaster got confirmed for spring 2021. Hope that doesn't include Andromeda. How many suits of diorama am I going to have? I think 8 now. Because we've got... Originally it was going to be 6, because it was going to be a actual playable team of mobile suits. And then I'm messed up a little bit because I've not got a response from Heavy. But what happened was I was asking Heavy about his suit because it's the Gym Striker, and he didn't get back to me in ages, so I thought I'll just ask Sin to replace Heavy. And Heavy's still not said anything, which is really annoying. But it's the whole deal now of it's like I asked Sin, then by the time I'd asked Sin, the Striker custom was back in, so I got it just in case. And then Sin comes back to me and says, you know, like, oh dude, I'd love to do this. Here's my colour scheme and everything else. This is what I'd like. So I was like, okay, I feel guilty if I just asked Sin and basically sold it as if he's going to be in it, and then not put him in it. So I was like, oh, kind of stuck here. So then I was like, okay, I've got Sin in it. Now it's an odd number. What do I do here? So then I turned around and went, Nugs, what's your mobile suit? And he was like, what? I said, like, what mobile suit do you want? And turned around and went, Gyan. And I was like, okay, so I've got Boaty and Nugs on the same team here, so that's not too bad. So yeah, everyone's happy at the end of the day. And I don't leave anybody out. Oh. Yeah, before I came on stream, I was watching some stuff by, I can't remember the full username, but it's a guy that does a lot of like seed lore videos and stuff. Kakarot is his main handle. I was watching some of the stuff that he did a while ago, like he covered a review of the high grade Camphor. And it was fun watching that and just seeing what that's like, because I know a load of people that have covered the Camphor in the past. And then I was watching some of the other stuff that he's done, like the 5 worst plot armor in Gundam. That was funny. And of course, number 1 has to go to Seed with Kira. One of the other freaking spots went to move for his ability to come back from the dead. You know. So one thing I keep saying about storytelling and stuff, if you're going to make a character die, don't make them come back, because otherwise you completely ruin the whole shock value of death of a character. It's like, when you kill a character, if you're writing like a story, and you decide to kill a character, please don't bring them back. Just really cheapens the whole deal when you try and do that. Moose retcon was dumb. Yeah. Didn't Kakarot 197 review the Pale Rider? I think he might have. I know he did the Pixie. Because before, like ages ago, when I was decent with the Pixie, I was looking around for possibly choosing the Pixie instead of the Easy 8. Now the Pixie's kind of become a joke, because it's pretty damn weak. Go on there. Try to get rid of this nub on the backpack, even though it's probably not going to be seen because of where it is. Because that plate itself is the, you can see it there, there's the 2 holes for the backpack to go onto the back section. I was just about to say, that reminds me of, I got the back section here, and then it's right here. And I think that's YouTube turning around and saying, do you want to pause the music? Yeah, it is, because it's been going for 18 minutes. I'm not 18 minutes. More than that, 38 minutes. Trying to find all these. Moo's retcon was dumb. I definitely don't like the way they explained it, you know. It's like, he just takes a longer into the face. It's totally fine, you know. Anybody can survive that. That's totally how we retcon it. The thing is, like, with Seed and Seed Destiny, I get the whole concept of trying to tell UC stuff in, like, a new, upgraded fashion. And add more characters in for a little bit more drama, but at the same time, it's like, I feel like Destiny retreads a lot of what Seed already did, and just shows you it from the other angle, and it's like, well, we didn't really need that, and they bring characters back just for the sake of it, you know. This character died, we'll bring him back. They didn't really die. They were off-screen recovering. Hate stuff like that, absolutely hate stuff, really does cheapen stuff like that. Imagine if they'd have done that with, like, IBO or whatever. You see Laughter get gunned down in the shop like everybody hates, and then next minute she comes back later on, you know, wearing a mask or whatever. Like the usual Gundam trope. Because McGillis's mask thing lasted, like, what? 2 or 3 episodes? As the Masked Man. That was a bit crap, that. About IBO. I didn't like the whole thing of the Masked Man persona only lasting a couple of episodes. I actually thought it was going to last a little bit longer, but then second half of IBO, it's okay, it's totally fine. He's totally doing his whole thing as part of the mainstay of Galahorn again. It's what? Let's see. You just need to know how to play a suit, and then it can be viable. I don't know, you know. YouTube does that, says G-Dash, for music. Yeah, it does. Sometimes knowing how to play a suit, yeah, it definitely works. But for some suits, it's just bad. Like the Pixie. The Pixie can work if you've got the right situation, which is enemies that don't have anti-stealth and a lot of cover that it can maneuver between. If there's not enough cover, or it can't dash between cover fast, the Pixie seems to be really screwed, and a much better pick is the Ifrit Nacht. That thing is such a better pick because of the ability to screw up the enemy's radar. It's so much easier to get the drop on people with that. Plus its lunge is a lot better as well. And its range stuns are really nasty, so it's like, as much as I do like Fetty suits, and you guys know I've talked in length about Fetty suits and how much I love the designs, as much as I like the idea and the concept of the Pixie, I gotta give it to the Zeeks on this one. The Nacht is just such a better pick for me when it comes to stealth stuff. There we go, that's nice and filed down now. We're doing alright here. Can you imagine if they retconned the other death that came out? The guy that got decapitated by the Aegis shield. Oh god, yeah. I found it funny, kind of funny being the mask thing in IBO, says G-Dash. Oh yeah, you've also not got to become the ace in a stealth suit for obvious reasons. Imagine retconning the death of the bikini girl in Victory. Oh god. Victory, man, like, I've said this before, apart from playing Dynasty Warriors Gundam, most of my my knowledge for like UC era or other Gundam stuff that isn't Wing or anything after it tends to come from, you know, like random clips that I've watched on YouTube. And Victory, oh, just the amount of depressing deaths in Victory that I've seen on YouTube and clips that people have uploaded. Whew, no wonder it gets the title of one of the most, like, gory, well, not exactly gory, but, you know, one of the more violent sort of Gundam series. When you're going in on infantry with a beam saber of all things. And then it just like, oh, it's totally fine, and then just fly off. Oof. A lot of depressing and crazy stuff in Victory. Oh, go on now. Trying to get all these angles because this really nasty nub over here, but I don't want to file down too much because of the raised surface. I think that might be enough to fix that nub there. Sure looks like it. Make sure by just smoothing over it a little bit. Let's see. Embrace the mono eyes, seek Xeons, says X-Ram. Moody, do you want to do a watch stream where we go through the UC series with everybody in chat? To be honest, I was thinking of just watching UC on my own while I've got time to relax, you know. I don't know, sometimes I like being on my own and like just chilling and I'm watching stuff without everybody being like, oh, check this out, or this is the bit where this happens. You know. Uso thought it was an illusion because War made him go nuts with the Angel Halo, I think, says Shinju. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. But yet the reaction for it? Oof. Even so, it was just brutal. What I remember most from Victory was a guy got married and he was told he was going to become a father and he kamikazed himself in the same episode. Oh my god. Victory, man. Just nuts. See so many people joking about it, you know, on like random different forums and stuff like that, when they turn around and be like, yeah, it's the most brutal or the most gruesome or whatever. And then when you go and see stuff like that, it's like, yeah, I can understand why. Okay, there we go. And then we've got, there we go, that part. Trying to file down here and find out where all these knobs are. There's one here. Oh. There we go. Kaiser says he wasn't going crazy. In fact, Uzo and Shakti were the most consistently sane characters in Victory, says Kaiser. Oof. Hey, Kaiser. Come on now. Victory is freaking nuts. So should you, yeah. Hang on. For V, 1, blame the depression, and 2, blame Sunrise for the stuff they were messing with. I just feel like it's definitely one of those more mature stories, you know. It's definitely up there with dealing with more mature themes. Like when I was trying to tell people the same about Divers Re-Rise, with the concepts that it was dealing with, you know. That was definitely more mature than Standard Divers, which is another thing that kind of drew me to it, really, was I didn't mind Build Divers, but definitely Re-Rise was a breath of fresh air after so many sort of typical build stories where it's like we've either going through like a school tournament arc or, you know, we're just going through a really boring character development plot where he's automatically god at doing everything. You know, I feel like the most boring story would be if you took the main character from Divers, so forgettable, I can't remember his name. It was like Rico or something. If you take his ability to just seemingly win every single time, which may or may not be due to messing around with Eldiver stuff. I feel like if you took his ability and then just give it to Kira, it'd just be like the most overpowered character ever. Kira just wins every single time in that sort of situation. It becomes like the most boring character story ever because there's no struggle. So I feel like if there's more struggle in a story, you kind of relate to it a little bit more. Because it's a little bit more realistic, you know. That's why all these bad films that have been coming out, you see the characters, like for instance Star Wars. Star Wars is a good example. If you have a character that can just do everything out of the gate, it's not relatable. And it's a sign of really bad writing. Hey, ATM! Okay, right, so that looks like the torso bagged. I'm just gonna go back through here and check the legs, because I swear I'm missing out parts for the legs here. Or rather, I'm not taking all of them into account. So there's the baggie for the legs. There's the ankle armor. Nope. I don't get what the idea is as well with Bandai and Sunrise teasing so much G Gundam. I've been mentioning this, but ever since Build Fighters started originally, it's on the wiki as well, but if you look in the Build series, there is so many G Gundam references, and I don't know why. It's just incredibly interesting to me because of me being like a really big fan of G Gundam, just because of how corny it is. You know, it's like, you see that many references in multiple shows, it's like, what are you trying to hint at, Bandai? We're gonna get the 14th tournament or what? You know, I think it was in manga form, that, but absolute insanity. I just want a proper Gundam 79 remake, says G-Dash. Let's see what we got here that I'm missing. This is one of the B runners. B121. Not on there. Okay. Hands. That's gonna be legs again. That's gonna be... Oh, wait a minute. B112 and... Okay, so this is all for the... That's interesting. That is incredibly interesting. So B112, which is that one. and B113 are part of the legs. Didn't actually notice that. I thought they were parts of the arms, but clearly I'm blind. Was the last proper series IBO? Yeah. The last proper Gundam series, like mainline Gundam series, was IBO. Which seems so far back now when you think about it. Don't know whether it's just me or not, but the passage of time from then just seems crazy. Okay, so that's that bit done. Let's just put this over here for the moment and do the same on this side. I think 15 is going to be for the legs as well. Let's have a look. I think it's a side fence. But I can't be sure unless... Yeah, there we go. I'm trying to find it in the manual. I was going to say, I can't be sure unless I find it in the manual, and it's right there. So that's another 2 parts. So many parts for the legs on this suit at the moment. I actually thought I'd got most of the most noticeable ones, but apparently I was wrong. So what I'll do is I'll finish up the legs here and then call it. But there's plenty of stuff to do, so fun times. Okay, C1, 20, oh that's a C2. I imagine it's going to be C1 and C2 for the left and right leg here. It doesn't tell me on the other side, so... Yeah, they're matching. So if I take 26 and 27... Hell, most of this is the legs. 25 is that one. Some of this is the inner joints. .28, which is that one. Let's see here. Katajina, she was crazy as hell. Isn't next anniversary going to be the 50th? To be honest, I'm not sure. You can temporarily watch F91 on Gundam Info. Oh, I've got to watch F91 again now. For as short as it was, you know, considering they were going to have it as a series and then they scrapped it, which I think is common knowledge now between Gundam fans, or has been for quite some time. I still enjoy F91. The F91's design is really good. Some of the other suits that eventually end up being used in the Crossbone Vanguard are really good as well. And gotta love the music. Like, Eternal Wind is one of my favourite Gundam tracks, just because, I don't know, it's got that charm of the time that it was produced. It's got, like, certain music has a very distinct sound to it. Like, a lot of 80s and early 90s stuff has specific drum beats that you can just tell it's all done with the same drums or similar sounding drums. And F91's soundtrack has a lot of that. Really enjoy it. E-Runner. Is this for the backpack as well? Can I... Oh, I can put that in the back if I want. let's just leave that there for the moment. There's the other runner. Trying to find out where this was for a moment. It's only available to the end of the weekend! Oh no! No! That is terrible. They should leave F91 up. I don't like it when Gundam Info upload stuff and then they take it away again. You know. It's like a while ago you used to be able to watch a load of stuff on it. And then they just took it all off. It's like, come on. I want to watch my stuff here. It's not easy to get anywhere else. And it's not as if they're losing out. They're still making money off YouTube. Maybe not as much as they would on like DVD sales or whatever, but I mean, I suppose they make up for it with actual kit sales. So I feel like if you compare DVD or Blu-ray sales to actual kit sales, you'd probably find that kits get way more money in. All these parts, jeez. Right, so now I need these couple. Okay, this is going really nicely at the moment here. I know I'm slightly out of frame. I keep trying to keep it in frame, but it's my first time. Well, it's not my first time, but it's interesting working with the splitter arm. I'm trying to keep it pointed in the right direction. 19 and 20. There's 20. Was 19's there? Okay, so 20 on both sides. Have a look at chat in a moment. I'm busy trying to just get these parts cut out and then I can read it. Let's just quickly have a look. Have you seen the metal build F91, says G-Dash? Yes, I have. It looks so good. I absolutely love some of the metal builds. I think the metal... Is it the metal build crossbone that they've brought out? The full cloth? That is absolute insane. Okay, those 23 and 22, I think, are for the arms. Yeah, they are. Just checking it then. Okay, so what have I got left here? D2. Where does D2 go? Excuse me. Oh. I just found out where it goes. It's literally on the pelvis. There was a crossbone that had a robot parrot. Yes. Yes, that is brilliant. Just because of how insane it is. Like, I know they probably won't get round to animating crossbone, not for ages, or if at all. But I keep advocating for it just because of how insane it is. It starts off kind of a little bit, or it reminds me a little bit of Unicorn, the way that it starts off. Just with the way that the suit gets inherited, but it's nuts. It's sheer nuts, and by like later on it just gets even crazier. I do like the crossbone units though. It's like I've said before, there was this, I don't know whether anybody else had it, but before Unicorn came out as OVA, where they released it over like so many years, before it came out like that, there was this, or at least I get, like from Western fans, like from me looking around on message boards and stuff, you kind of got this that whenever Unicorn was posted, it was this kind of almost, not exactly mythical, but it was this strange thing that nobody had really seen, and everybody was interested in because it was Unicorn. You know, it kind of had this around it of being mysterious, but also really cool. And Crossbone kind of has that at the moment for me, where it's like, not many people know about it unless you've read the manga. Or rather, they don't look into it much, they just go, ooh, Pirate Gundam. But, I really like it. Not just that, it's the fact that the designs are really good. Crossbone is probably going to be after Hathaway's Flash, says G-Dash. Oh, yes! Like, honestly, I'd like it to be animated before I end up dead, you know. I used to joke when I was in college, because I've mentioned it a couple of times, but I used to joke that with Sean, because we played Halo all the time, that, you know, before I died, I wanted to play all the Halo games that were really good. And I think now I'm changing that joke to, because the ones that I wanted to play have been okay, and then the ones that I didn't enjoy, well, you know, I don't speak about them, but with Crossbone, I'd like to watch that before I end up croaking sometime. That'd be really cool, just to see how it turns out. And the fan animations for Crossbone are really good as well. Like, I'm sure everybody's seen the fan made almost like Flash video for Crossbone. The only time the Crossbone's been officially animated has been, like, properly, has been Build Fighters, from what I know, primarily because that's when it had a more prominent role. Like, it's been in the backgrounds of stuff like G Gundam and things like that, but Build Fighters was definitely where they turned around and went, hey guys, check this out, we could animate this. It's like, come on! The fan-made opening, says X-Ram. Yeah. That fan-made opening that kind of, I think it uses some of the animation from the opening, or one of the openings for Full Metal Alchemist. Can't remember which opening it is, but I swear I looked at it one time and recognised parts from FMA in it. I think it might be opening 2 for FMA that it seems to have copied little bits of the animation of. But a lot of fan animations do that, where they're like, you know what, I gotta get something looking cool, and I want it to be a certain style, so I'll copy this, you know. It's not a big deal, it still looks really good. Hey, Ultras. I remember Half-Chan M being split between hating Unicorn and thinking it was the best thing ever when the first OVA drops his Kaiser. Yeah, that's what I mean! That's what I mean, like, I was lurking more when that was actually going on, and I remember everybody posting all the high-res artwork of the Unicorn from different places on the internet, and just being like, check this out, it's awesome, and then parts being like, nah, I'm not so sure about this. It was nuts. If you want to go far, like really far back with that kind of stuff, though, there was one specific time that I remember, because I think it's like the only time where I've really seen what seemed to be the entirety of M come together, just for one thing in Mecha. It wasn't Gurren Lagann, because like when Gurren Lagann first came out, M got really hyped about that as well. But no, it was. I remember when M came together for the death of Lock-On Stratos in season 1 of Double O, because that's where all the memes came from about Lock-On's death, the motivational poster style ones. Because I remember that, because Chan was like, oh my god, and then they were just lit up for days on end. It's almost like the entirety of the board was just mourning Lock-On's passing. It's really sad. Especially because Lock-On's my favourite character in Double O, but yeah, it's It's insane. I don't think I've quite witnessed that like on a frequent basis. It's only been for stuff like Unicorn supposedly being mysterious and fascinating and the most amazing thing ever, and Lock-on's death. And then all the memes about Ali Al-Sashes as well on top after that. They'll never continue Fighters, which is a shame, says Ultras. What, you mean build Fighters the original? Because I have a feeling that that really would be carried on in like manga form. Lock-on is probably one of the best Gundam characters with how beloved he is. I think it's more because like he just comes across as really sort of down to earth and normal, you know, compared to the other Gundam pilots in Double O. Like he's still in a bad place from the bombings in Ireland and stuff, but overall he's not sort of running around shouting "I am Gundam" at the top of his head. He's not sort of a super soldier that has a split personality that can occasionally take over when he doesn't want it to. And he's definitely not sort of some weird genetically enhanced... I don't think it was genetically enhanced. The Innovades, I can't remember what the deal was with them. Like, I remember they were made to guide humanity, as Aeolia Schenberg calls it, but I can't remember what the whole deal with them was, but I think if I remember rightly, Tierio was one. That's why I mentioned it, you know. Between the 4 Gundam pilots in Double O, Lock-on was definitely the most down-to-earth out of them and the least weird. It's kind of like in Wing, how Duo is the least weird in Wing. G-Dash says, Moody, when you do watch UC, watch 0079 first, and then the movies, because if I remember rightly, the movies are everything that follows. Ooh, good recommendation. Let's see here. Setsuno has a reason why he's weird. It's all his PTSD. Oh, yeah, I know that. But if you were to just summarize it and really simplify it like me, well then it would be that whole thing of he's just weird for the sake of it. He's a Gundam fanboy, but yeah, it's due to his PTSD. Innovades are artificial beings meant to be the descendants of Aeolia Schenberg, says Ultras. Ah. I don't know about Duo running around calling himself the God of Death while wearing a modified priest robe. That's in freaking Frozen Teardrop. We don't talk about Frozen Teardrop. It's terrible. Lock-on is the only one to have a somewhat normal life, says G-Dash. Hi. Yeah. I really do like Lock-on from Season 1, but I felt, again, it was cheap having Lock-on die and then be replaced by an exact clone of him, which is basically his, what was it, his brother or something, or his twin brother? The only reason I say clone is because literally it's just the same character art. You know? I don't mean that literally. How is Frozen Teardrop terrible? Never read it, says Ultras. Everybody has nano machines. We're on Mars now. The same sort of events are repeating with characters that are supposed to be descendants of the original characters from Wing, but basically, you know, they're the same almost. they're meant to be descendants, but they're the exact same characters. They look exactly the same. It's weird. None of the suit designs outside of Wing Zero Custom have actually been shown off. And they just keep showing off Wing Zero Custom all over again. Like, how many times are we going to get Wing Zero Custom released as a kit? Seriously, especially the Endless Waltz version. This is why I get annoyed with Katoki, because, like, he does some really good designs. And there's the whole joke about it being all in the legs, you know, with the extremely long legs. Seriously, it's like, I'm sick of seeing the Endless Waltz versions of suits. It's why when they brought the high-grade line out for the wingsuits, I'm just like, yes, I can purchase these. They actually look different compared to everything that's been released over the past 15 years. Ribbons is an innovate with DNA of Aeolia's best friend, says Shinju. I can't remember that. Frozen Teardrop is a spin-off about kids, and then it goes off the rails almost immediately. Yeah. That's why I joke about it and say we don't mention it, you know, because it really... when we last left Wing, it was somewhat understandable as a plot. You know, I felt like with the story, I didn't... As a kid, I'm just looking at it, and as a teenager, sorry, because I was a teenager when it came out. As a teenager, I'm looking at it, and I'm like, okay, it's giant robots with some sense of a story in here that I can kind of understand. And then I go back and watch it a little bit later when I'm in college again. And sure enough, I appreciate the story a little bit more. I can see elements of Char's counterattack being reused in the second arc, but I still don't quite fully understand the story. But the thing that separates it from Frozen Teardrop is, like, my understanding from Wing is that it was the colonies versus Earth and there wasn't any other planets colonized or anything. But Frozen Teardrop goes completely balls off the wall and goes, oh yeah, there's Mars as well. We've got Mars now, and we've colonized that and terraformed it, and now we're able to live on Mars, and now there's nanomachines for the sake of it. It's like, what? Just what? And the concepts that it takes from Wing and just runs with him are fanfiction level writing almost, you know. We gotta change the setting, but we gotta make everything the same, so we'll do this. The music's done its pause thing again. Let's see. It's all in the marketing and popularity, says Ultras, for Wing Zero Custom. When are we going to get G-Unit? I mean, G-Unit would be good if they actually remade the old high grades. Because the old high grades are very old. Very, very old. You mean new models as proof? Wasn't someone possessed by a new type ghost in Frozen Teardrop, says Shinju? I honestly don't know. I kept track of it up until, like, the whole deal with bringing in Wu Fei in a three-headed, or one of, it was either Wu Fei or one of Wu Fei's descendants, or kids, in a three-headed white and blue Epion, I think it was. It's like, yeah, we sent all the suits into the sun, or we blew them up at the end of Endless Waltz, and everything seemed like it was going peaceful, but you know what? We'll just repeat the entire mistake of continuing war all over again, because, you know, it's brilliant. We've got to keep this side of the franchise going in some way, shape or form, because we got a load of fangirls that like Bishoujo characters, or Bishy looking characters, and we know the West absolutely loves Wing, so we got to keep pumping this out as much as possible. Just to not run out of money, or at least to make as much money as possible. That's what I feel like with Frozen Teardrop. It's like, what's the most absurd stuff you can do? Put it in Gundam, and then just repeat Wing's storyline almost, but on a slightly different setting with the kids of the main characters that you knew from the anime, because it was popular, right? It was really popular, so of course, if we do it again, it's going to have the same popularity. Frozen Teardrop is still better than Age after the reveal, though, says Kaiser. I liked Age. I like the concept for Age, and I didn't actually mind the storyline, but the bit with Asano, like Asano's story with Zehat, where it's basically just because they do more or less retell again like Seed. They do a retelling of classic Gundam, but they change everything around a little bit. But you can tell like certain parts of the story are based on like18 Zeta and then double Zeta, especially with the suit designs. I definitely like the double Zeta arc. No, sorry, the Zeta arc where you have Wolf and Asano working together. Oh, Asum, sorry. Not Asano. Asano's the family name. Frozen Teardrop is like the return of the Backstreet Boys. Yeah. What do you think if Felt had become a Gundam Meister? To be honest, it looked like she was going to for a while. I think it would have been cool for her to replace Lock-On, but she had no experience from what I know personally. I could be totally wrong. Somebody please correct me. It would have been interesting to have an actual female Gundam Meister that wasn't Nana Trinity because of her being absolutely crazy. Yeah. Granddaddy Asano, nuke the vegans. Yeah, Asim's storyline is really good in Age. G-Dash says Age equals main character becomes a hard racist. I mean, it's true. Do like a lot of the fight scenes in Age, though. Like specifically stuff like the Sparrow and the Titus's introductions, and the Sparrow versus the one vegan kid that is constantly trying to annoy Flit at the beginning. I'm trying to remember. He becomes a main bad guy later on, and then gets killed by Asim. I'm trying to remember his name. He's so forgettable now. But the fight where the Sparrow scares the living daylights out of him, that one was good. Then there's the Titus breach in the Space Fortress at the beginning. Then obviously you've got any fight scene with Wolf and the G-Bouncer. Asim's scenes in the freaking double bullet. And then dual wielding when he's going to save everybody on the colony, well, like one colony, if I remember rightly. And Asim comes in with double beam sabers and just wrecks everybody. That's pretty fun. Obviously, there's the fights with the Dark Hound because it is more or less like discount Crossbone getting animated. That was fun to see. And Asim like styling on Zehat at the very end. It's the Dark Hand versus the Legolas. Oh, it's such a good fight. Like, you think the Legolas is gonna win because it's a more upgraded vegan variant of a Gundam, and the next minute it just gets wrecked against the side of a ship. Jeez, it kind of reminds me of the fight between McGillis and freaking the masked guy in IBO. I can't remember the name of him again. I'm gonna have to remember. My memory's going. I swear it's Age here. The purple guy. Nina was a female Meister too. Yeah, I know, but she was psycho. Felt's mother was a Meister originally. Wasn't it? They ended up having a malfunction with the GN drive though, and it melted her, if I remember rightly. I swear I read that somewhere. I could be wrong, but... Vader. Galileo, yeah. That was it. Thank you very much, Shinju. It's because I've not watched... I've not gone back and rewatched IBO. And you only remember the characters that you really enjoy, you know? So, like, for instance, really enjoying watching Assem just tear up everything in the Dark Hound. It sticks in my memory. Whereas having side characters that are also bad guys get absolutely wrecked most of the time, and then the only thing that's notable is they get the Vidar. Yeah. I could have said Vidar for a name, but I was going off the first half where he gets betrayed and then wrecked. And then it looks like he's dead, and then they cop out and give him the masked man role instead of McGillis. Kaiser says, I like Age, but again, it falls apart when it's revealed that the Vegans could have just moved to another moon. Oh, such a simple fix of the story. It's like when they're having the grand plan revealed of what they're actually doing, you know, why they're doing it. It's just like, you know, you guys could have just moved to another place. Oh, imagine if that had been, like, actually written into the story. That would have been so funny. You know, you guys could have just moved, right? Like, oh yeah. I guess we're sorry about killing this many people. I straight up forget Mika's name sometimes, says Kaiser. Oof. Like, Mika, Olga, and Akihiro, you can't really forget because of the fact that they're the main characters. Some of the main characters, they're the ones that are on screen most of the time. You know, so they're pretty hard to forget compared to other characters, like, say, Biscuit or whatever, that are still main characters, but once they're dead, that's it. There's no mention of them again, really, after, like, an episode or two. Although, again, I'll say, like, one of the most satisfying scenes in IBO outside of Eok getting crushed by Akihiro at the end is definitely seeing Mika stamp on all of Carter's squad in the Lupus. I think no, not the Lupus. Sorry, is it the fifth? I think it might be the fourth or fifth form where he's got the wrench mace in season 1 or the first half where it's just after Biscuits died, and they're on the train trying to take the snow route. Oh god, just seeing Mika go absolute ape there is amazing. That and the scene where I think it's either they're on a boat or they're on a train, and it's Mika talking to Augur and trying to, like, Mika's trying to goad Augur into actually manning the hell up because it's after Biscuits died, and he's like, I'm not sure I should be doing this. I think I've messed up really bad. And Mika's like, dude, you can't get out of this now. We're just going to keep going. And he's like, shut up, Mika. And then Mika's like, dude, you what? Just, like, corners him and just gives him this death stare. And even Augur's like, I don't think I want to get on Mika's bad side. So good. Akihiro, address him as his real name, Space Guts. Akihiro, man. He's one of my favourite characters. Like, he was basically the lovable idiot of the group. And by that I mean, like, sure, he had more muscles than brains, but he was so cool. Especially when they introduced the Rebake Full City in the second half of IBO. And that first fight with Galen Nossa, I only remember his name just because of how much he gets absolutely wrecked. Oh my god. Just seeing Akihiro go absolutely ape on him is brilliant. I wish they'd done more fights choreography like that, because the sound effects, again, I'm going into like my Dead Space stuff here where I'm all about sound effects and design for that and stuff. But the metal clanging sounds from all of IBO, because of the blunt weapons, is just always really good to hear. Like the clanging of metal hitting each other, and then the crunching of it as they're just, as the mobile suits are just smashing each other is so satisfying. I think it's funny how Mosa tries to use the freaking pickaxe weapon that he's got as well, and Akihiro just blocks it with the back of the Gushion's fists because of the much stronger armor on the back of the hands. Oh. And then proceeds to beat the living daylights out of him with all 4 of its arms. Oh, I need to watch that scene again. It's on YouTube somewhere. I'll find it. So good. Could watch that scene over on repeat for like an hour and not get bored. Honestly, I think some of Akihiro's scenes where he's beating people up are a lot better than Mika, like some of Mika's scenes. Like the last fight with Mika going all wolf on everybody. Some parts of it are okay, but it's a bit weird. It's so good. Don't talk bad about Biscuit. Oh, I'm not. Biscuit was cool, you know, in the sense that he was the only one that actually had proper brains and everything. It was actually like, guys, we might want to think about stuff before we we go absolutely crazy here, because I think we're getting into some real deep stuff now. And then next minute he's like, you know what, I'm not comfortable anymore, I think I'm gonna get out. And then just as he says that, that's when everything goes tits up. I really do feel sorry for Biscuit, but it's Biscuit's death that spurs everything else on and gets everybody else to actually man the hell up and continue on with stuff. I feel like that could have been done. It's almost like when they say in other stories as examples, they might kill off like a love interest or whatever of one of the main characters, and it does kind of the same thing. But because it's not a girl, obviously, it's just like, yeah, it's Biscuit. What do? We make him really lovable as a character, and then we have him meet his end ultimately at Carter, who literally is just a stuck-up bitch. And then we have Carter get absolutely shredded by Mika. Like, the best part about that fight with Mika is not just how brutal he is at throwing around the wrench mace, but it's the whole deal with the fact that one trooper that's like, I'll take out the tracks, and Mika's like, how about I just take out your entire mobile suit by stomping on it? And then you look at the cockpit, and the cockpit's got oil and guts just leaking out of it, and the damn thing is like paper, like, you know, when you stamp on like a can or something, it's just completely compressed. On one hand, I feel sorry for the dude inside it, and on the other, it's just like, serve yourself right, dude, you picked the wrong side. Oh, so satisfying with stuff like that. Going at like an almost Dead Space tangent there of me saying about how satisfying it is watching Mobile Suit gore, basically. Hey, Young. I've actually done quite a lot today. I just remembered another good scene from IBO was before the fight with where Biscuit dies, where they're saying, "Oh, we'll come onto the island in like." They give him a allotted time frame, if I remember rightly. And then just as they're about to start, Akihiro shoots at him and snipes him with the smooth ball gun from the side of the ocean, and gets a direct hit, if I remember rightly, on one of the grazers, and it blows it up, and they're just like, are we starting this fight yet, or what? Oh, so funny. Gotta love IBO. It's so good. I hope if they do any like really mature stories again, they include stuff like that where it's pretty brutal but it's fun at the same time. You know. Oh. making sure I do these stretches here. Oh. I'm just gonna get a drink. Just give me a sec. Sat here for like an hour and a half talking. Now I've got a tickle in the back of my throat. That and I have been sat there with a headache. Probably from being dehydrated for all that time as well. So, while I'm just recovering a little bit and chilling out here, here's one for you, because I've been gushing so much about IBO fight sequences and stuff. What's everybody's favourite fights from all of Gundam franchise? You know, just in general. Like, it can be any part of it, just what's your overall favourite fight and why? Okay, back. Got some painkillers here. I'm gonna take them. Let's see what everybody's been saying. Proof says, actually, the Greys survived that one shot. It just chopped off his entire head armor and the other Greys started complaining. Oh. John says, the last fight in IBO Season 1. What? Galeo oh no, it was Ein, wasn't it? Ein versus Mika? When Mika finds out how to use the katana. That was really good. I enjoyed that. Devasia says, Easy 8 versus the Goof Custom, no contest. Gotta admit, my favourite part out of that fight is the arm slapping moment. Only because of Shiro being so desperate at that point. But yeah, that's another really good one. Shiro constantly being put on the back foot by how good Norris is. Ultra says, Riku getting put in his place. What, in episode 13 or by the no-name? Eggs Ram says, Camille punching Jared in the face to express his name as a man's name at the beginning of Zeta. Camille yeeting Jared into a ship blowing up, says G-Dash. Star Build Strike versus Fenice, says Young. Nice. That's the one where, in Build Fighters, where they both draw, isn't it? Mika smashing the grey herd girl, says John. God damn it, John. Proof says, the best fighting for me was Yuki Tetsuo and the Zaku Amazing versus Reiji in the Build Full package in episode 6. Well, after one... isn't he comes in one of the other... Oh, after one of the other fights? Ultra says, by the no-name in general. The fight in episode 13 with the no-name is one of the best animated fight sequences I've seen from Gundam. It's a really good pick. Sat here just drinking water for a moment. That's why there's not much going on at the moment here. Let's see. Divisia says, that part is great only in that I see the logic of it in the face of it. It's an illogical moment. The arm is fried. Might as well use it in a more productive way. Yeah, the arm's totally fried because of the freaking stun thing that hits it. I can't remember what the actual name of that weapon is for the goof that hits and shorts out the Easy 8 to begin with. Mika eluding the lolly, says G-Dash. Oh, it is the heat rod. I didn't realize, like, my understanding for heat rods was kind of like, I think it might just be because of my lack of knowledge of UC. My understanding of heat rod was based solely on, like, the heat rod from the Epion or whatever. I didn't actually realize, you know, it can have an electrical shock down it. I thought it was like another sub-weapon that the goof had. Young says, yeah, they draw. That is such a good fight, that one. Because that's the one where Ricardo goes to use the self-destruct and gets stopped. That's such a good fight. It's a really good pick as well. Shinju says, I'm having a hard time deciding. X-Ram says, but seriously, speaking of Domon versus Master Asia in the last battle. Oh, fighting as men. Yes. Where they're in the, where they're on the island together, they're both in hyper mode. Master Asia's standing by his ideals, where he doesn't want to see the world continually get destroyed by Gundam fights, and Domon's just like, I have no reason why you're saying this stuff, or why you're doing this. Master Asia's like, you won't understand, and then they both have one hell of a fight. While everybody else watches. That is, as the sun sets as well. And everybody else just doesn't get involved. They're just like, yeah, this is a fight between men. We're not going to get involved. Such a good fight sequence. G-Dash says, speaking of Mika smashing in Gundam, how many pilots actually got laid? Honestly, I'm not sure. That was actually surprising at the end of IBO that happened with Atra. Considering Atra was more or less trying to get Mika hooked up with Kudelia for the entire thing. That was kind of interesting, and then eventually she turns around to Kudelia and goes, we can both have Mika, and Mika's probably sat there like, wait, what? That was an interesting twist, I'll say that. It's definitely a heat rod, it's just an odd variation, says Devasia. It has more of a grappling device. Ah, okay. The heat part is from when the weapon comes... of the weapon comes from its use of plasma energy. Ah, okay, okay. Young says, IBO with guts scissoring York. Oh. He can only do it in the Gundam, says John. Yeah, that was because of the whole deal with Mika losing all of his limbs, wasn't it? That reminds me, there's a joke in there somewhere. If I can turn it into a meme, just like get Mika being held over Olga's shoulder and just be like, Dave in 2021, no arms, no legs, just sat there like, well, crap. I didn't ask to be Mika in real life, honest guys. Oh. Let's see. I really like the Camphor Amazing versus the Gym Sniper K9, says Shinju. That, again, really good pick. I watched that fight so many times since watching Build Fighters, primarily just because of the fact that that fight alone is just really well set up, especially for the simple fact if you think the Camp for Amazing is going to lose at the end, and then you find out that the Gatling is hidden in the last pod that fell into the fountain. Really, really good sequence as well, where you see the brothers have basically got the small high grade tank and the Xeon troops. A really interesting take, to be honest. I wanted to see more of that kind of stuff, where they really, because like Build Fighters dived a lot more into the sort of the building side and constantly repairing stuff and going on about different grades and how they would affect things, and really messing around with the concept of putting building into the show rather than just kind of saying like, okay, everything's holograms now and stuff, or you know, it's all a game. I actually did like the whole aspect of having the actual building, something that almost everyone that watches the show is familiar with, be an actual part of the show, which is why like when they reference it, and I think Build Divers again at some point where they mention about it's the event for all the female characters and they get to building suits and they're like, okay, you've got to build a suit, and it's what the one from Ogre's clan is trying to show off, so she picks something, I can't remember what the suit is, but she picks something that's either like a master grade or a perfect grade, and everybody else is like, why did you pick that? It takes so long to build. And she's like, I completely forgot. It's stuff like that and I actually like, because it's relatable and funny at the same time, because you're like, they're not wrong, that is a long time to build something like that. It's stuff like that I really enjoy, because there's tongue-in-cheek humour about the source material. And it's self-referential. Let's see. Ultra says, right, but after I had feelings for Mika, but she was willing to part with Mika for Mika's happiness. True, true. Young says, Kamen Rider Vidar versus McGillis. Oh, where McGillis gets killed by the, or at least he gets heavily wounded by the drill. I don't like how the Vidar, like, ended up being upgraded into the, what was it, the Chimaris Vidar? I could be wrong there. Where the Chimaris basically gets the knee drills and the like, rear shoulder shields and things like that. And the lance gets changed a little bit, if I remember rightly. It's a really weird change. To be honest, I preferred it when Galio was using just the Vidar, because the Vidar was such an interesting suit, and then it just, poof, it's gone after like a couple of episodes. Let's see here. G-Dash says, see, for the longest time I thought Heat Rod refers to the Dom melee weapon. Oh, like the lightsaber style looking thing. John says, has to be hooked up to a machine to smash. Yeah, you beat Mika now, Dave. Cheers, John. Cheers. That's it, Moody. You need... I'm not going to even, like, go to talk to the rest. Oh, I'm not even going to say the rest of that one, Eggsram. It was the Sazabi Vercasis proof. Thank you for mentioning that, because I honestly, I was thinking to myself, I remember the Mobile Suits box was red, and I'm like, was it the Neo Zeon or what? Because of it coming out at roughly about the same time. Oh. Young says, it looks cool, but regular Vidar is better. Oh, I definitely liked the Vidar with its black and blue colour scheme. Or it's black and bluey purple? And it's dual pistols, and then it's got like, what, the feet knives and the definitely not inspired by Attack on Titan side waist skirts that house those exploding tipped fencing weapons. Oh. John says, Atra does turn into a proper MILF. And then we got the whole thing of Erdhum, which just didn't happen. Remember when they announced that, like, what was it, 2 years ago now, or a year ago, where they announced, like, the 40th anniversary. They said, we're going to do a really big push for Gundam content. We're going to go Gundam global here. And they did the announcement for GBO2, which was literally, like, 5 seconds of, we've got this on the store, play it. And then they had, what was it, Mobile Gundam Breaker. They had Erdhunt that was coming up. I remember everybody going on about that for a while, saying, wait a minute, is this an anime? Is this it's a mobile app? What? And then they went on a little bit of think about the real scale Gundam that they've just finished, and then I think that was about it. I honestly can't remember anything from the 40th anymore. Shinju says, Celestial Being Meisters versus the joint front of the Union and Human Reform League and the AEU. Also the Meisters versus the Gundam Throne Meisters. One from Double O that I really enjoy. From like season 1. Obviously, like, we can easily turn around and take the easy route and be like, okay, Lock-On versus Alial Sashes. Because that is a really good fight, but it doesn't last too long. I do like Setsuna versus Alejandro Corda. That one is a good one, especially when he thinks Lass has died after the container goes down. And then he ejects from it and from the GN Arms and just goes to town on the Alvator with the Exia's giant beam sword. Not beam sword, sorry, the GN sword. That is so good, just watching him carve up the giant mobile armor while what is it, I think it's Fight is playing in the background or something. That is such a good song, seriously. Oh, I'm trying to remember what else is good from Double O that, like, really, really gets you going. Lock-On shooting through the atmosphere with the giant battery pack on the sniper with the orbital attachment to it to help the Curios fly the colony part out of orbit. That is a really good fight. And then Season 2. Season 2 is definitely Lock-On versus the female Innovate that he's kind of dating. That was a really, really interesting fight, that one, for me, because he doesn't do anything for, like, quite a bit of the fight. He tries holding back, and then at the end he's just like, yeah, I'm going all out here. Uses the shield bits to just surround her and is like, yep, I got you now. And then he loses it for a moment in terms of his concentration. He kind of puts his guard down, and then next moment, if I remember rightly, it's Setsuna that has to come in and save him. That one's a good one. Setsuna in the Exia repair. No, sorry, the Exia, the half damaged version. In the first episode versus the new suits. That one's pretty cool. And then we get to see I think it's the Cerebi 2 or the Cerebi in close combat for the first time. That one's a good fight. Or the bit where we first get to see the Double O Riser and we get to see the quantization, I think it is. I'm trying to pronounce it. The bit where the Double O Riser turns into particles and then just appears on the other side of the meteor. Oh, I'm trying to think just in general of, like, really good Double O stuff. We've got the one where Transam is activated for the first time. That is versus Alial Sashes. That is good. And then I'm trying to think. Sniping the core of the Memento Mori. The team up were the versus the falling parts of the space elevator. That was really cool. I And then if you want to go really good, then obviously the movie. Like, the movie for Double O just goes nuts with all of the mobile suits. Oh. Let's see what chat's been saying. Gundam Double O has so many good fights. Yes. Double O has, like, again, some of the most satisfying moments. Like, I always liked Hallelujah in it just because of how psycho he can get. And the best part about it is when he comes back in Season 2 versus Ribbons. And it's because it starts off with, you guys know this now, you got Fight playing in the background. It's Setsuna versus Ribbons in the Reborn's canon. And just when the other two Innovades come in to try and interrupt and Setsuna looks like he's damaged, lock on in like a practically hardly working version of Keradim comes in, and when the Arios flies in and freaking completely obliterates one of the Innovades in like 2 seconds in one of the most brutal ways ever, like slams into it and then just crushes it. Oh, so good. Takes off the arm in its first fly pass with the beam saber, and then just crushes it between the it's not the shield bits for the Arios. I think it's the front parts of the transformed section, which ended up being the wings on the backpack. That bit is so good. Oh. Didn't Setsuna punch Nana when she kissed him in Season 1, says Exram? I can't remember. I can't remember whether he did or didn't. I know he didn't like it. Or he didn't take kindly to it. Shinju says, Moody, you're basically summing up a lot of stuff why it's one of my favourite Gundam series. I mean, to be honest and fair, it really did have a lot of good moments. The only thing about Double O's fights that stand out to me were those absurd moments, says Devasio, where the Double O does something stupidly impossible. I mean, they're not for everybody, you know. You can't enjoy absolutely everything about the show. But Double O definitely has some solid fights. Really solid fights. Let's see here. That should be all of the leg stuff now. Hopefully. Oh, no, wait. Crap, I just noticed it isn't all of the leg stuff. While I've been talking, I've just noticed the ankles missing some parts. I thought I was done there. I was going to be like, right, I can have a break and call it, but I can't because there are just a few parts left that I can get done here and then I can call it. What these are is there's 2 parts either side for the ankle and I need to get them done, and they are only C1 and 2, 29 and 30 on both runners. So many messages retracted. What the hell? You guys okay? That reminds me, I've not had the headset on for a while. Is the music still playing? No, it isn't. It seems to have paused again. God damn it. There we go. I like my Sonic Unleashed music in the background. It was like, if there was any other music that was not sort of going to have me yeeted by Susan in the background, then I'd put that on, but because Sonic Unleashed music seems to be safe, it's just like, I'll keep playing it. It's got some nice relaxing tunes as well. Okay, so it's 4 parts that I need to cut out and do. Not too many. Could be worse. I could need to cut out like an entire runner's worth of parts here. Take a look at art chart, says G-Dash. Will do. I'll take a look after I've cut these parts out. I have to load up Discord. Let's see. I wanted to make a joke about Nina, but the message disappeared without any warning. But it made me in bad taste, it seems, says Shinju. Wait, what? Even Susan doesn't like Nina. Did Susan just yeet that message? Because you know I wouldn't say anything about it. You know, because I'm all for, you know, people saying what they want to say about, like, a particular thing, you know. Seems like Susan just comes in and yeets things for no reason sometimes. Moody's like, I can't end the stream yet, parts are magically appearing. They are, though. It's like I've got 4 parts there that weren't there before, and they need to be in this bag. I thought I was done with, like, the torso, and then the legs just magically... Yeah, I'm going to change the song there. I thought I was done with the torso, and then the legs just magically keep giving me more parts that I didn't expect. Let's see, let's try and choose some nice one. There's a good one. Holoska Cool Edge Day is a really good track, I find. Okay, let's check Discord as well while we're here. And then I can do those 4 parts. And then I can end it there. Okay, let's see here. Ooh! There's the Slave Wraith. With the bazooka, the 180, the beam rifle. That's pretty cool. I remember that. And there's the metal build F91. And then in art chat we have... What the hell? So the do a 00 Gundam, but it's slightly changed. The GM drives are in a different position. And everyone else is just like, what the hell? That's the easiest way of putting it. I swear I've seen something like that before. There we go. Shinju says, sorry about the bad joke, guys. Don't really know if it should be used... I should have used that specific word. Shinju, it's totally fine with me, dude. I don't know about Susan, but... Carrier Zone from Sonic Racing, yes. There are some really good tracks on Sonic Racing as well, but I had the Sonic Racing streams ages ago yeeted because of it having the Samba de Amigo music, which is copyrighted. Not the actual Samba song itself, but like, it's like there's one that's used in European soccer, I think, and because they use that, it's just like, yeah, we'll just yeet your video now. It's like, cheers, I didn't ask for this, but... You know, cheers. Cheers anyway. Such a good song. Come on now, almost found this down. Maybe Trinity's a thought. It's alright, Shinju, it's fine. It's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Honestly, I thought it was going to be worse. Well. Okay. Nina's and Mia. I don't know who's worse, to be honest. Like, we'd have to do a poll of, like, the worst female Gundam characters, because obviously Rulina's going to be up there. Freaking the one that we don't mention from Stardust Memory is going to be there. Nina. Mia. Nina Trinity. I'm trying to think of who else is, like, really bad.